Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Do you need help with your punches and remembering how to use them and all the possibilities you can do with them? Let's check out my workspace. We're going to learn some new techniques today. All right, so this is my workspace for today, and we are, as I mentioned, going to talk about how to use these wonderful decorative punches. And these are three of our most recent decorative punches that have come out, and they are super cute and a lot of fun, and I am super looking forward to playing with them with you today. So I just wanted to share with you something really quick, and then we're going to talk about some ways that you can change these borders and really soup them up and make them look spectacular. So as you can see, this is the whale tail border that I have punched here, and I'm going to show you how to punch that in just a second, so that if you are brand new to the CM punches and aren't sure how they work, we're going to go through that in just a second. But I just wanted to show you what the finished product can look like, and then you're going to see how we're going to change it up just a little bit. All right, so I just punched it out of the cool gray cardstock here, and I have just a piece of white cardstock behind it. We're going to punch it again using the white cardstock, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Our winged punches, our decorative punches with the wings, are really uniquely designed. They have a locking mechanism at the top that locks them so that they close up and can store conveniently this way. They are labeled on the side so you can see the design that they are, and you can stack them on your shelf this way, or you can stack them this way, but there is not a pattern for the punch on this side, so it is easier to tell what you have by stacking them vertically this way. All right, and in the locked position. You can also see the pattern on the wing here just a little bit and on the top. And so we would unlock it and release the lever. And as you have been, you've probably heard me mention, or other advisors mention, on any of the CM tools, the predominantly blue mechanisms are the mechanisms that move and have an action related to them. And so the lever in this case is going to be the blue area. That's going to be what we push down to punch. When we line our paper up, we have these two marks up here in the front of the punch. That's going to be how we know that our punch is aligned in the proper place to get started. So you can feed your paper either from right to left or from left to right. And if you're feeding from left to right, you would line your paper up using this mark, so the edge of the paper would go there. If you're leading your paper or feeding your paper in from right to left, then you would use this mark here on the left for the edge of your paper. Let me show you what I mean. So I typically, when I'm punching, I like to go from right to left and move my paper towards the left side. So I line up the corner of my paper right there with that left-hand mark. You can see how it's just right at that mark, okay? And I push it all the way to the back of the wing. There's a little bumper back there, and so you want to go ahead and push it all the way to the back. Hold it with your free hand, depending on which side the paper is starting on, and go ahead and punch. Then you're going to slide your paper through until what you have punched matches the design in blue on the wing of the mechanism or the punch. Okay, so when that lines up, then you're going to punch again, and always holding it all the way to the back bumper with your free hand over here, okay? So just keep punching and sliding until you get all the way to the end, and you can see how it just is so cute with those whale tails poking out there. If you ever go to Alaska or you go to Hawaii and you get to observe whales, wouldn't this be so cute to use in those layouts? Okay, so I have a piece of blue shimmer here without the whale tails, you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this piece onto this white cardstock. And this is going to be the souped up version of this particular punch. And let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to take my repositionable adhesive, which I piled my Post-it notes on, so bear with me a second here. I have to unpile my Post-it notes. And we're going to just add a repositionable adhesive down that portion of the water and all I did was I went in and I just trimmed off the whale tails, and I tried to just make each one look a little bit different than the last, because you know water never looks the same, right? Okay, so I'm just putting that shimmer paper a little offset from the white behind. Now I'm going to take my precision point cutting scissors and I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to cut the whale tail in the same fashion I did before, leaving a little bit of that white showing. And it doesn't have to be super precise. It just needs to be a little bit offset so that we can see some of the white. And you can save the whale tails and use them maybe in another layout. If you're doing this punch would also be perfect if you ever enjoy doing mermaids or dolphins, or you know, if you're doing any kind of water. I could see using this on any kind of a water layout. It's just a super fun thing to have in your stash to use with any of your summer, especially your summer type layouts. We got one more here and then we will be good to go. Okay. All right. So you could save these and use them. I've saved my blue ones. Here are the blue ones that I cut off before. So I can use those in another layout. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this, and then we're going to cut. So we're going to put some adhesive along the back punched area, and then we're going to adhere this to the gray. And this time we want to try to adhere it directly to the punched area so we can't see the gray underneath. And then we're going to come in with our 12-inch trimmer and we're going to line this up along the edge of the blue where we cut the blue shimmer. And I'm going to do it again because I didn't push hard enough to go through both layers of cardstock. All right, there we go. Now, isn't that cute? Now, it looks like our whale tails are coming right up out of the water and making their own waves. Isn't that so cute? Okay, so that is our whale tail. And I wanted to share with you a couple of the other ones really quick. When you have a fun design like this, it is so fun to go in and add colors to your to what you punched. Okay, so I have all these extra little pieces. I have this one that we're going to use. I have these other chickens that are in black, and the reason that I am using the chickens that are in this kind of black speckly paper is because I have a sister-in-law who I just found out recently. She and her family have started a chicken coop. And I thought, well, wouldn't this be so fun to create with all the different colored chickens that she was explaining to us just recently. So you basically punch, you punch it in your base sheet, whatever you want your base color to be. Then you go back and you punch it again in all the different colors that you are going to want to add. And then you just sort of cut and paste. You sort of cut apart the pieces that you want to change the color of. I just thought this would be so fun to do. We've got a little bit of wood paper for the steps up to the coop. And for some reason, for me, a chicken coop always needs to be red, and I don't know where that comes from in my mind, but in my mind, that chicken coop needed to be red. And the reason, what I was trying to say before, the reason that all the chickens are these colors is because my sister-in-law, was explaining all the different kinds of chickens that she had in her chicken coop. And I thought, whoa, that's really a huge variety. And she had these ones that were so cute, and they were black and white, speckly. And so I thought, well, we need to have those represented on our border today. All right, so this one is the chicken coop border, of course. All right, and isn't that so cute the way that's done? I kind of want to do something in here too, but I'm not sure exactly what. So I think I'm going to just leave it at that for right now. We're going to leave it at that. And I also wanted to show you this bridge one that is so sweet. And I just thought it would be a super fun one to put together for you today. So I punched this using hot fudge, and this is our natural page because I had a bunch of, those of you who've been watching my channel know that I received some pages that were not not correctly made, and CM had me just go ahead and keep them. So I cut the jeeping off so that I could use the paper, because why not, right? So I have red and green and blue and natural, and we have brown. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to come in here and we're going to use the blue for the water. So I'm just going to cut the water to separate it. I'll cut this so that we can separate it. So this is a little bit of fiddly cutting. If you don't like to fiddly cut, then just punch out of one color and enjoy. Or punch it out of two colors and offset it, and it will be lovely. But this is definitely the Scrapbooking 201.5 rather than 101.5 level to do what I'm doing here for you. But I just thought it would be a fun way to share what we can do with our punches. So actually, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put this piece on. So we're going to use a fairly liberal amount of repositionable adhesive, and this piece is going to go on here slightly offset from the darker brown to add a little bit more dimension to the border. Okay, so we've got that. And then we've got the blue. water. So we're just going to add the blue water on. This is going to go, actually I think I put my adhesive in on the wrong side. Let me see. I put my adhesive on the wrong side. So this is the beauty of repositionable adhesive. We're going to just rub it off. And that way we can flip it over and add adhesive to the other side so that it matches better. So we're going to flip that over and go ahead and do this again. And this time I'm going to, on purpose, cover up as much of that natural cardstock as I can. Sometimes it's, depending on how you have trimmed this piece, it might not cover it completely, but that's okay, we can fix that. So no worries there, okay? Then we're going to come in and we're just going to snip off our bridges, right? So I'm going to cut it there, and then I'm going to cut it straight up, as straight as I can. Add our bridge. So just like that. And then we're going to come in here with some green. And if you're going to want to do this with yours, make sure that you are punching the whole thing so that you can come in here and add all of your trees in a grove, essentially. Because on the punch, the trees are separated in half. So you will, if you only punch it once and think that you're going to be able to add your trees, you may be saddened because you will only get half of your bunch of trees. I hope that makes sense. But you can see here on the punch that the trees are sort of cut down the center. So you will want to keep your trees together, I think. And we'll add different colors of green. So we have a variety of trees. Okay, and we'll just continue to do that as we go across. Let's add another bridge or two here. And anyway, this is just a fun possibility that you can do with your punches. And if you punch your bridge this way, you can actually line it up with your scissors to keep that straight so that you can rest this edge right here, this post, against the edge of your scissors and be able to keep that cut as straight as possible. And then we'll just add this guy in right here. And we'll work our way across until we have the whole thing completed. But that's how we make these fancy, fun borders. And you can customize them that way as well. If you've been to Venice, this would be perfect for that trip. But even if you just go to the park, many times if you go to the park, there'll be a pond or something that there's a bridge over. or I don't know, maybe even in the big city. If you go to New York, there's certainly plenty of bridges, so this would be perfect for that too. So just open your mind and imagine, and the sky is the limit where that's concerned. I'm going to keep working here, but if you right now these punches are available, and so are all of the other punches that we have, and I would take a look at them all and see where see what your next group of photos is going to be that you're going to be working on, and see if there's a new punch that you might need to have come join your punch family in your house. And because wouldn't that be so fun to have a new punch to use? And you can use them for many, many things. Think of when you're considering getting a new punch, think about what your photos are that you're doing and how you might use these shapes in another way. Is there another way that you could use this bridge, for instance? Could it be something else? Could you use the trees in a different way? Could you use that chicken coop to be more like just a barn on a page? You know, there's lots of when I look at a punch and I'm considering whether I want to have it, I try to think of what else could I use that shape for? Because there's so many things that we do, that we scrapbook, that we might need an embellishment for. And if you have a punch that you can create that thing with, then that's awesome. You can create so many embellishments by just using your punches. Maybe we'll do a lesson on that one day. Comment and tell me if you think that would be helpful to you, if we did a lesson on how to create an embellishment based on the shape of a completely unrelated punch. Maybe I'll have to get my creative juices flowing even just a little bit more to help you with that, but I'd be happy to try to figure that out and give you some ideas. All right, so there are all of our bridges. Let's cut some more of these trees, and then we'll trim this off and it will be good to go. Let's see, we just need we do need 3. So I punched 3 of each color, and I think that's going to be just right for what we need to do here. All right, so this one's going to go over here. This one will go right here in between. Isn't it so cute how that just dresses it up? And then these two are going to end up being cut in half. So we only need half. So we'll trim those off. Guys, I'm recording this for you on Sunday, so it'll be up for you to see tomorrow. And then I'm getting ready to go and sing with a choir, the Weaver State Choir, and we so I'm just going to trim these off on the ends here. We have been performing all week, and my voice is tired. So hopefully it will all go well today. All right. So what you could also do is come back in with your pens and add some details and dimension and accents, which I don't really have time to do today, but we could do that in another lesson as well. What to add or how to add those details in. All right. So I'm kind of wishing that this was further down. How am I going to fix that? All right, we're going to trim this so that these are all equal. And then I think what I might do is just trim this a teeny bit closer so that I can just remove when you have multiple layers of cardstock, sometimes it likes to just move out of the way instead of letting your trimmer cut. All right, here we go. I'm going to just come in here with my scissors and trim that. Otherwise, it's going to really bug me that I have that little white bit showing. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so there's our third one, our bridges. We've got our bridges and our chicken coop and our whale tails. Super fun. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that it will help you not be afraid of our punches, because they're really super fun to work with, and they can do some really fun things with your pages. So I hope that you will be brave and try these. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. There's even more. There's actually 6 of them. I just chose to do 3 of them for you today, but there's actually 6 of these really fun new borders. And so let me know which one's your favorite. I would love to know in the comments. Thanks so much. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Enjoy your day.